So today I want to go over one of the most important parts of this system for me, and that's these heads. And that's what sets the 8600 apart and the 400 and the 200 are these heads, because this allows me to put heavier modifiers on boom stands a lot easier than hanging this thing over with tons of weight on the other side. You still need the counterweight, but this makes it so much easier. Now, I'm using another modifier that I want to show you in an upcoming video, which this is going to be essential for. But today, I just want to show you, the ease of this and how easy it is to set up and use, and how it makes life so much easier on this kind of system. Now, this is my favorite accessory for the Godox line. Now, I use it on the AD600 and especially the AD200. But when using the 8600 in studio on a boom arm, that is just such a heavy unit with or without a modifier, and it doesn't matter what modifier you're using. The head itself on the 8600, it's a heavy light. I think it's like 7 pounds. This extension head is so much lighter and so much easier to maneuver. It's just a smaller head on that stand. Now that's just the super clamp. I have a ton of these. I use them a lot, especially when I'm ceiling mounting lights. But on the stand here for the 8600 or the AD400, whichever one you have, because they do have an extension head for the AD400 as well. It just makes it easy. I don't have to worry about which angle it's at because I'm controlling this whole thing with the remote anyway. So I don't often have to go to the 8600 on the stand to make adjustments, just to turn it on and turn it off. Now, the extension head, it just clips in. It's really simple to do. And the bulb, by the way, that everybody's said, don't touch the glass. It has nothing to do with the glass itself. It has to touch it's the flash tube itself that you don't have to touch, or that you shouldn't touch. Oil gets on it and it heats up quicker and makes your flash tube burn out in that spot a lot quicker. But remember, all these 8600, 8400, they all have a glass cover over them. So you can touch that. It won't harm it whatsoever. It's the flash tube itself that you don't have to touch. But you can see how easy this is to set up. Now, especially like putting on modifiers, it's so much easier just to take down this head off the stand and put it onto the modifier and pick it back up. It's a lot lighter, a lot easier to maneuver. So, there's so many benefits to this. Now, the 8200, I use that on location a lot. So, having the main unit from the 8200 lower on the stand and then just having that small head on top, that makes it a lot easier as well. And it makes the stand a little bit more stable, especially when you're using small travel stands. But you can see how much easier this is to set up. It has the handle on it. It's, the hardest part with this is tightening down that screw hard enough because, it's going to twist if you don't tighten it down a lot. Wish they would come up with a better way for that, especially that one part there. It's too easy to swivel. So if you want to add an angle like I'm doing here, it's a little bit more difficult. You really got to put some torque on that screw to make sure it doesn't move. But I just wanted to share this shoot with you really quick too. So, her thing is she needed a cover for her podcast, and I did her last one and it was more formal and she wanted something just a little bit more informal. Now I'm doing it square so I have room to play. So when she says, okay, I need this much room on this side or the other side, I have room to play with it, so she can put her text, the name of her podcast and so forth. So I'm shooting this more open than I normally would. Now I'm not adjusting the backdrop and stuff like that. It's going to be pure white when it's finished, but I wanted to show you out of camera so you have an idea. By the way, I'm using the Hasselblad X1D Mark II with the 75 millimeter P lens, their portable line. I'm really loving this lens the more I use it. It is really sharp, and there's no there's no compromise, even though it's an inexpensive lens in their lineup. There is absolutely no compromise with this lens. It is incredible. And I've been playing with it quite a bit, and I absolutely love it. And the strange part is there's no chromatic aberrations anywhere. There's no issues with this lens. It's really clean. Anyway, getting back to this shoot. So, it's a basic setup. It's one light, and the one light's doing all the work. I move it back further so I can get the backdrop lit as well, so it's a little bit more even. It's not perfect by any means, but if I go into Photoshop, I can clean that up and make that pure white, without losing the shadow or the definition of the wall curve. Now, everybody's going to ask me that line that's on the backdrop there, where the backdrop hits the vinyl floor. That's just a simple Photoshop touch up and it's done. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the shoot. If you have any questions, leave them below.